And joining me now with analysis of last night's results and a preview of the battle for South Carolina, the former governor of the great state of Alaska, Fox News contributor Sarah Palin. Governor, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Sean.
All right, let's start. Before we get into the specifics of what's going on now, is there too much infighting, too much attacking, or is it healthy? In the end, does the vetting of the candidates make them stronger and prepare them for a billion-dollar Obama barrage?
They need to vet one another. We're not going to get the lamestream media to help vetting on the other side of the ticket, so we'll vet within our own party and we'll allow that most prepared candidate to rise to the top. So it's tough, it's rough and tumble, but this is the way that you hear claims absolutely that are being made today. You hear backup and facts and information supporting the claims, say for job creation. That's been the talk the last couple of days, claims made in these campaigns. And sometimes it gets rough and tumble as you try to hold these candidates accountable for what they're claiming.
All right, Newt has backed off his criticism of Bain, but I had Governor Perry on the program last night. He doubled down the term vulture capitalist, taking advantage of these companies in their hour of need, you know, just to turn a quick profit, et cetera. What do you think of those attacks in particular? Is that where, if you were running a campaign, would that be your line against Governor Romney? Are they making a mistake? Are they attacking the fundamentals of conservatism, which is we support capitalism?
I don't agree with the tax on free market capitalism at all, but I don't believe that that's really what is at the heart of Governor Perry's criticism of Romney and his time at Bain. This isn't about a politician making huge profits in the private sector. I think what Governor Perry is getting at is that Governor Romney has claimed to have created 100,000 jobs at Bain, and people are wanting to know, is there proof of that claim, and was it U.S. jobs created for United States citizens, the 100,000 jobs? And I believe that that's what Governor Perry is getting at is, own up to the claims that are being made, and that's fair. That's not negative campaigning. That's fair to get a candidate to be held accountable to what's being claimed, especially when it comes to job creation, because so many of us are so concerned about what's going on Main Street as well as Wall Street.
Well, let me see if I might have some general disagreement. His terms were that they're taking advantage, meaning Bain Capital, of companies going through tough times. He says he compared Bain and companies like Bain to vultures who leave carcasses behind. Now, venture capitalists, we know what they do. They go in and help either new business, they help restructure business for businesses that are going bankrupt or businesses that want to expand. And they get private equity money, people that want to invest, yes, make a profit in the process of helping distressed companies in many of these cases. Is that vulture capitalism in your view?
I won't speak for Governor Perry and what his point was as he used those particular words, but the governor of Texas, having been so passionate about creating U.S. jobs there in his state and being successful in allowing the private sector to come in and knowing what government can do to incentivize these private businesses to hire more Americans, he knows what he's talking about when it comes to some of these job creation antics that, gosh, we wish that our own president would listen to and learn from. But I would hope that Governor Perry and the other candidates would shift gears a little bit and start talking about how important it is that we do embrace free market capitalism and, fight against a crony capitalism that is a problem in Washington, D.C. Focus along those lines, because, Sean, the difference that we're facing in the two parties and as we approach a general election is that clenched fist of Barack Obama's that is forcing these socialist-type failed policies that kill jobs. We're facing that as opposed to that invisible hand in a free market that Adam Smith and more recently Thomas Sowell and others speak of as they explain what America's foundation is, how it grew to be such a prosperous and safe and healthy and voluntarily generous nation based on free market enterprise.
And I said this to Governor Perry last night. I mean, there are certainly areas of disagreement that are very legitimate, questions you can ask about Governor Romney, distinctions you can make with his record versus your record. He has a good record, as you point out, in Texas of job creation here. And I guess as you know, as time goes on, I'm just not sure if this is the, it sounded to me, let me be more, it sounded like the attacks, if Governor Romney gets the nomination, that they would make against him or, frankly, any Republican who gets the nomination. It sounded like that to me. Did you not hear that at all?
Well, you know, what I heard was a little bit what's going on today is some inoculation of the candidate himself, the front runner, and what it is that he's going to face when he comes up against Barack Obama. Nobody should be surprised that things about Bain Capital and maybe tax returns not being released yet and maybe some, you know, records not being as transparently provided to the public as voters deserve to see right now. Don't be surprised that that's all coming out today, because it would come out as an October surprise had these GOP candidates not brought those out today. Barack Obama and his machine and the $1 billion that he's got behind him will bring all this stuff out anyway. So let's get it out there. Let's hear the defense of the candidates who are being charged with some of this. It's kind of like some come to Jesus moments for some of these candidates, and that's healthy and that's good. And you know, as I say, Sean, it is rough and tumble. It's not beanbag, as Romney and others have called it, and these guys got to be prepared for this. All
right, so does Governor Palin. We'll hold right on. We'll ask you when we come back whether or not you think Romney is the inevitable winner, and at any point if you will endorse. Apparently, you know, the first dude went rogue. We'll ask you about that, and then later, liberal activist Cornell. As we continue on Hannity, and joining us tonight, former Alaska Governor, Fox News contributor Sarah Palin. Governor, I know that you said the first dude went rogue in endorsing Newt Gingrich. At any point, do you see yourself getting in this and making an endorsement in this race?
Not yet. I'm like the majority of GOP voters, still trying to find who is best prepared to come up against Obama and contrast themselves and their policies and their proposed solutions to the challenges we're facing. I'm still with that majority searching.
All right, Mitt Romney, the first Republican non-president to win both Iowa and New Hampshire. It's historic. He's got leads in Florida, tight in South Carolina. Do you think it's inevitable now? Is this a case where you think that Governor Romney either has it, or maybe there's too many people trying to be an alternative to him and the field has to be winnowed down a little bit? What do you think?
I think with Romney coming off the 39% that he garnered in a liberal-leaning state like New Hampshire shows that, again, the majority has not coalesced yet around one. And I do think that conservatives are still looking and still kind of investigating what Romney stands for. And even his work there at Bain, what the buyouts were all about, and, you know, did some of his actions at Bain result in government bailouts of any of those companies, and did that benefit Romney? Conservatives are still looking into those fiscal and social issues that not only Romney but all the other candidates espouse, and we want to know who is best prepared to lead this country. All
right, let me play a cut of Michelle Obama saying that people just don't know. We're confused because remember, President Obama said we're lazy, among other things, and we cling to our guns and Bibles and religions. But this is the latest comment, this one by Michelle Obama. I want to get your reaction to this.
Some people would say they're disappointed in Barack Obama's presidency, that it hasn't accomplished all that they thought that it would, or all that he said it would.
Yeah, but they just don't know. They don't know. They don't know all that. So we're going to, you know, this campaign is going to be about making sure that people understand all that's been accomplished. I think people are confused about what some may be confused about how much have been accomplished.
Are we confused, Governor? You look...
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. What, are we just a bunch of numbskulls out
Apparently,
here
I'm
in the
confused.
heartland of America? Just a bunch of numbskulls who can't read the unemployment numbers and see that $5 trillion in new debt later under her husband, President Obama, $5 trillion more, and we still have fewer jobs today than we had before he took over. But no, we're numbskulls out here, and we just don't understand yet what these numbers actually mean, what they represent.
Yeah, we're not that bright. All right. 2-to-1, there's a poll out. Americans fear Obama's reelection. That's a pretty significant amount. A lot of people that I'm hearing from, Twitter, email, and people that I meet every day, they are fearful of another Obama turn because of all the damage that was done the first time. Do you worry, are you concerned about the Republicans coming together? At one point you said, well, Republicans better also listen to Ron Paul. I agree with Ron Paul on economic policy. I totally disagree with him on foreign policy. Do you worry, are you concerned that there's too much damage being done here and that ultimately the conservatives, Tea Party members, Republicans alike, will unite and somebody won't run third party and divide the anti-Obama vote?
No, historically, we know that primaries are tough battles, especially contested, aggressive GOP battles. And again, I think that that's just fine for the process. But no, I'm not worried about unity afterwards. I know that I'm going to put my heart and soul into helping unify independents and Reagan Democrats and GOP members to come together and do all that we can to replace Obama and what he stands for with a free market, pro-strong military, strong national defense candidate who can help lead our country, put it on the right road. But you know why people are so concerned? 2-to-1, that concern about a second term for President Obama. We understand with now $15–16 trillion in debt, there's not enough money in the world to pay back what it is that we have borrowed for today's wants and needs, and yet we're going to try to hand this bill to our kids and our grandkids. That makes us less safe, less secure as a nation. And when you see the turmoil that is going on around this world, and now more than ever, America needs that strong military, we shouldn't be looking first at cutting military funding. We should be looking at the entitlement programs that need reform. We should be looking at the frivolous expenditures that our bureaucracies are still engaged in. And yet, look what is going on under Obama. We cut military first, and we look at almost becoming an isolationist nation, acting like we're disinterested in what's going on around the world. And that, of course, is why I disagree with some of Ron Paul's foreign policies. But no, I understand why people are concerned. And again, that is why I've committed to doing all that I can to support the GOP nominee in a couple of months, which I predict that's when we'll find that person.
All right, Governor Palin, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it. And coming up next, the architect Carl